Welcome to English Motivation Plus, where we explore the depths of the human soul and the path to true inner peace. Meet Marco, a young man of 24 who carries the weight of the entire world upon his weary, trembling shoulders. He lives in a bustling city, yet he feels completely isolated, surrounded by noise that echoes the chaos within his mind. Every single day feels like a battle against invisible enemies, fighting thoughts that refuse to be silenced or tamed by logic. Marco is constantly haunted by the shadows of his past, replaying old mistakes that cannot be changed, no matter how hard. When he stops thinking about yesterday, his mind races toward tomorrow, filled with terrifying scenarios that have not even happened yet. Nighttime brings no relief to him, as he tosses and turns, staring at the ceiling while the clock ticks away mercilessly. He has forgotten how to smile genuinely, his face a mask of exhaustion that hides a spirit desperate for some rest. Realizing he cannot continue living this way, Marco decides to seek help before his anxiety consumes the last of his hope. He hears whispers of a wise old man living on the outskirts, a retired psychologist known for healing the most troubled. Marco travels to the edge of the village, finding a humble cottage surrounded by nature, a stark contrast to his city. The old man welcomes him with a warm smile, his eyes holding a depth of understanding that immediately calms Marco's nerves. Marco pours out his heart, explaining his sleepless nights, his constant worry, and the overwhelming noise that never leaves his head. The wise man listens patiently without interrupting, nodding slowly as he prepares a lesson that requires action rather than mere words. He hands Marco a simple glass filled to the very brim with water, the surface tension threatening to spill over immediately. The master says, "Walk to the end of the village and back, but you must not spill a single drop of water. If you spill even one drop, you must start over." This is the only way to find the answer you seek. Marco grips the glass tightly, his eyes locked onto the water level, taking his first tentative step onto the dusty road. His entire world narrows down to that small circle of water, his breathing steady and slow to prevent his hands shaking. Around him, the village is alive with activity. People are talking and laughing, but Marco does not dare look up once. A dog barks loudly nearby, and children run past him chasing a ball. Yet Marco remains fixated solely on the glass. He reaches the end of the village, turning around with extreme caution, sweat dripping down his forehead from the intense focus. The journey back feels even longer, his muscles tense, but his determination to keep the water inside the glass remains unbreakable. Step by step, he approaches the cottage again, the water swirling dangerously close to the edge, but never falling to the ground. Finally, he steps back onto the porch of the wise man's house, letting out a long breath he had been holding. "I did it," Marco says proudly, showing the full glass. "I walked the whole way without spilling a single drop." The old man smiles and asks, "Did you see the beautiful flowers blooming by the road or hear the children playing?" Marco blinks in confusion and admits, "I saw nothing. I did not hear the dogs or see the children playing nearby. I was so focused on the water that I blocked out everything else. I had no room for distractions or sights." The wise man nods gently. That is the secret to peace. When you focus on the task, distractions disappear completely. When your mind was on the glass, you had no time to worry about the past or fear the unknown future. Anxiety comes when we are not here. Peace is found only when we are fully immersed in the present moment. Imagine your life is that glass of water. Focus on carrying it now, and the noise of the world fades. Marco looks at the water, then at the horizon. For the first time in years, the storm in his mind clears. He realizes that he has the power to choose his focus, to live in the now rather than the painful then. True peace is not the absence of chaos around us, but the presence of focus and stillness within our own hearts. Thank you for watching English Motivation Plus. Subscribe for more stories that heal the soul and guide you to inner peace.